Don't max out your shit, kids. Be like me. A fucking loser. Got all my little parts and pieces here. Upper, lower pieces of the leaf springs. The bigger pieces. The whatever. The outer leaves I got from Lance. Same color pink. So what I'm gonna do now is probably just push in these bushings here and here in the upper, and push these bushings into the leaf springs right quick. Got them all separated. These bigger ones right here is for the bigger side of the leaf spring. These two sets, whatever, is for the drop shackles or the stock factory shackles, and then these are for the smaller side. I already got one side in. What I did is I put one part of the bushing in, push this sleeve through it, and then push the other side with a little rubber mallet, and I was able to get it, you know, it's flush on both sides, or just about flush on both sides. So, and also got the up on. I had fucked up this bushing when I put it in or installed it the first time. They were a lot easier this time to put in, but a little full of grease. But just wanted to kind of show y'all it's fucking easy as fuck, to be honest, even with the powder coat. Give you some grease to use, and you can use a little bit around it, like around the inside if it's tight or whatever, and then it doesn't make that big of a difference. These aren't greasable bushings. You can put a little grease, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. But as you can see, I got that one on that side, put that insert in, and then I'll just push it in, and the rest of the way I can tap it in with a hammer. As easy as it gets. So after I did that and I was looking at them, I figured I ought to just paint them so that the edges don't look rusted against the, you know, powder. So I'm gonna just hit them with a couple coats of gloss black. I mean, it's really like these edges that I'm worried about. This right here is you're not gonna see. It's just to have these edges kind of nice. Clean them up with some brake cleaner and whatnot. I'm not too worried about this, like I said. So without showing my address, this just came in the mail. Been waiting for this for about 2 months. KRTR 12FT. This is what I've been waiting for, to finally fucking be able to drive my truck. So as you can see, it's the KRTR 12FT for 9906. Got the oversized stud. It's basically made for the kits that come with a spindle, and it doesn't use the factory tire rod in it. Cool sticker. But these fuckers are beefy, I will say that. I believe they're 7/8 in diameter. The Gen 2s, I think the Gen 1s were a little smaller. And you got all kinds of adjustment. You got adjustment here on this side. I'm not too sure how far of adjustment you actually have, but as you can see, you got the oversized stud, which is really what I needed. I heard somebody say something one time about having to cut one side, maybe. Like having to cut this side, maybe, I think it was. Or maybe this side, I don't exactly remember. But what I'll do is I'll have to try them, you know, on the truck and see if I have to cut anything. But got the grease fittings in them already. They should be pre-greased. I'm gonna have to tighten the fittings though. I'll grease them a little bit more and get the alignment shop to make sure they're greased good. But these things are fucking solid, bro. Like, I could powder coat that, but it would have been nice if they came in earlier. I could have powder coated it just to be fancy, but that's literally what I've been waiting for to drive my truck finally. So because it would be my luck, I checked to make sure that this threaded into the, just threaded in. And I also checked to make sure the stud was the same size. Stud is the same size, or is the correct size, and this does thread in properly. But I mean, just look at the difference. Obviously this male isn't going to change, but it's just so much bigger here. This right here is so small compared to, you know, this threaded portion here. And like I said, I believe this is 7/8 here. I had the sleeves on it to keep them from bending, but I think these sleeves are going to be a lot better. And then even the tie rod in itself, this how it's built, it's a little beefier around here with the big studs. So I think we'll be good. And I'll probably try to get this thrown together within the next day or so and be able to fucking move it, because the grass is getting cut around it and not on it. So I got the up out here. Ball joint is still in the spindle. I need to put the cowsel nut back on it though. Bolt the control arm to the upper. Got some sand from scraping, I guess. Got the up on, got the ball joint on, torqued everything down. I took this inner piece that threads into the steering bar out of the whole assembly. I'm gonna thread this in, put it as tight as I can. Then I'm gonna go from there. I'm gonna the steering wheel is as straight as it could be right now, and thread this back in. I'll probably thread this out, thread this back in, and then from there kind of adjust it to where it has, you know, enough room to be able to do what it's got to do. So I forgot, for these, for whatever reason, you have to cut these sleeves, this sleeve right here. So I had a buddy of mine tell me that he cut his right here, and it ended up working fine. I'm gonna cut it right here, right where these little notches is. And basically what that does is allows the tie rod to go in some more. Pretty decent cut. Got it about as straight as I could. I don't think I messed up the threads, so I should be good on that. I'm gonna kind of blow out the inside because they got all the metal shavings. It was a little hard. It was a little hard to get started at first, kind of, I guess, to work out them threads, but I got it now. That fucker's going. So I think we're good. I think we're good on this end. So I got it to where this is pretty straight. It could maybe come out a little bit more, but I'm gonna adjust it once it's on the ground. And then, as you can tell, my cut wasn't the straightest. Started off good and then kind of angled down. So I'm gonna try to do a little better on the other side, but we're good. So if you got these Kryptonite tie rods, cut them at that little notch on that sleeve part and you'll be fine. She's back on all fours. Boy, it looks fucking stupid with fucking street tires and almost level, but I think it looks pretty good. Tighten the tie rods and all the little them little set nuts. What we doing today, bro? I mean, what you doing today?
So gotta change a few sensors, yeah, and gotta put this in the gas tank, put the fuel, helps out.
So since fucking Sabine, when I brought my truck, when we went to Sabine, my bank two knocked, or either one or two, I can't remember. One of them went out. And then on the way back, the other sensor came on for the check engine light. And if you've seen that video, I had changed that knock sensor and the intake manifold gasket, so I was over there. So today, I've been having this since Sabine, or since like right after Sabine, but I got new wiring harness, which I think is a part of the reason that they're going out is because them little clips was broken. But I figured I'd change the knock sensors as well. So I got two new knock sensors, wiring harness for the both of them, and those manifold gaskets, as well as some gaskets for the intake manifold, like some of the, I forget. And then you gotta disconnect the fuel line for the fuel rail. Last time I used a bunch of flathead screwdrivers, and I was able to get it without breaking it. This time I actually bought the fucking tool. So I got that too. So they got this vacuum line. I got a vacuum line that was going right here. They got these. There's 5 of them, I think. 8 mils that hold the intake manifold onto the head, onto the motor block. Then you got all these little clips. There's 8 of them for the injectors. I still haven't taken the intake off of this yet, but I'm about to. And then clip it from here. That fuel line, you gotta disconnect that. There's also a connection back here you gotta disconnect. And there's this little plate that was on top that holds the cover on. You gotta take that off. It's all like 10 and 8 mils. Pretty self-explanatory. Little clip here and a little disc goes right here. It's self-explanatory if you're looking at it. You'll be able to tell. Slime is about to go get me a beer because I need one.
Dude, it's like.
I don't give a fuck what time it is.
It's like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's time to start drinking. It's Saturday, bro.
Darn it.
Go get yourself one too while you're at it, bud.
Yeah.
Thanks. I missed the clip. Alright, put that. So I got it taken out. Got the knock sensors taken out, the old ones, so I'm gonna put the new ones in, thread them. Gonna put the new wiring harness, connect it all up. Cause those two gaskets, those big ones, they go right here. I'll kind of clean it up. Cause I mean, it got some shit on it, so I'm gonna kind of clean this shit up a little bit. New sensors, check. New gaskets, check. A little slime.
Fuck Gordon.
Say, bro, you wanna say that again?
Yeah, fuck Gordon. Yeah, look at you fucking stupid.
Pick that up, pussy ass. Fixing to put the intake manifold back on. Hopefully I can run all my little wires right. Fucking about to be a bitch. So don't get caught up. So they don't get caught up like little slime. So I just finished cutting these with a reciprocating saw. I put them in a vise and got it straight, marked the straight line, whatever. So now it's a much straighter cut. And I'm also fixing to swap out this axle, which was broken, and as you can see, completely fucked. There's grease everywhere. That back cover is basically blown out. Let's swap it for an older axle, but just to show you, don't max out your shit, kids. Be like me, a fucking loser.